Good morning class. Today we are going to discuss about valence bond theory. Students, earlier to this we have discussed about Werner's theory, which was given by A. Werner in 1893 AD. He was also known as the father of coordination chemistry. He has given the concept of primary and secondary valency. Now students, moving to the valence bond theory. So this was proposed by L. Pauling in 1930s. So students, this theory was basically depend on the theory that describes the bonding, and the bonding was described by using hybrid orbitals and electron pairs of valence shell. Okay, that's why it is called as valence bond theory. Okay, so students, in his theory, L. Pauling given the concept of central metal atom, which was provide a number of empty orbital equal to its coordination number for the formation of covalent bond. Okay, the empty orbital of metal ion hybridize to give an equal number of hybrid orbital of equivalent energy. After that, students, he given that the metal atom, whether it is atom or ion, can use n-1d, ns, np and nd orbitals for hybridization to yield square planar, tetrahedral or octahedral geometry. Okay, so these hybridized orbital then overlap with ligand orbitals, which can donate an electron pair for bonding. So students, pay attention here that the ligand orbitals, they can donate electron pair. Okay, and the metal atom or ion used n-1d, ns, np and nd orbitals. So these were the concept given by valence bond, given by L. Pauling, which was known as valence bond theory. You can better understood this by having an example. So students, basically he gives the complexes having a square planar geometry, having octahedral geometry, having tetrahedral geometry, and he also given the concept of strong and weak field ligands. So he assumed as NH3, Cn minus, CO etc. as a strong field ligand, and you can say H2O etc. as weak field ligand. Students, here one more concept is there of when there are unpaired electrons, then the complex is paramagnetic, and the electrons are paired, then it is called as diamagnetic. So let us see with an example. Student, firstly we will talk about the application of coordination complexes. So basically we will discuss about coordination number 4. Here students, you can see that the tetra-coordinated complex may either have tetrahedral or square planar geometry, depending upon the nature of the cell involved in hybridization. That is, if ns and np orbitals are involved in bonding, as you can see here, ns and np. So one ns and one np3 orbital are involved in bonding. So it is called as sp3 hybrid orbitals. Similarly, students, when 1d and 1s and 2p orbitals are involved, then it is termed as dsp2, that is square planar geometry hybridization. So let us see with the examples, students. So we are taking the example of NiCO4. Students, as we all know that carbonyl is a strong field ligand. So without following the Hund's rule, the electrons will be paired up without following the Hund's rule. So in case of nickel, its configuration is 3d8 and 4s2. As you can see, in D subshell there are 8 electrons and in S there are 2. Okay, now as we know that the oxidation state in NiCO4 of nickel is 0, so there will be no electron will be removed. After that, students, as we are taking the case of a strong weak field ligand, so electron will pair up against Hund's rule. That is, here the electrons will be paired up. Okay, these electrons will be paired up, so there will be a vacant space. Again, the s electrons will went to this orbital, so all the electron will be paired up. That is, we will get the configuration of 3d10, and 4s is available for bonding and 4p available for bonding. And as we know that there are CO4, that is 4 carbonyl group, so these orbitals, that is 1s and 3p, hybridize. Okay, that is sp3 hybridization take place, and sp3 hybrid orbitals are formed, and in these sp3 hybrid orbitals the carbonyl will take up the place. Okay, so resulting in the hybridization, that is tetrahedral geometry, because it is sp3 hybridization, hence geometry is tetrahedral, and as all the electron are paired, so it is diamagnetic complex. Now students, let's talk about any tetrahedral complex. So you can see here NiCl4 2 minus. So here, as we know that nickel's electronic configuration is 3d8 4s2, that is valence electron are 3d8 4s2. So we have drawn it as follows, 3d8 and 4s2, and students, here nickel is in +2 state. So 2 electron will remove from s orbital, okay, and as it is weak field ligand, chlorine is a weak field ligand, so no pairing will be take place, and the orbitals involved in hybridization are 1s and 3p, hence there is sp3 hybridization, but this complex is paramagnetic, okay, and the earlier complex was diamagnetic because there was a strong field ligand. Now students, let's take understood the concept of dsp2 hybridization. So we can see here students, yes, here you can see in the complex, that is PtCN4 2 minus. In case of PtCN4 2 minus, we can see that the complex Pt is having configuration 5d9 6s1. So here is this location 5d9 and 6s1. Now as we know that Pt is in +2 oxidation state, so 2 electrons are removed and the orbital involved in hybridization. So here you can see the orbitals involved are d, 1d, 1s and 2p. So hybridization is dsp2, okay, and as this is a strong field ligand, so they will take up the spaces, and here being dsp2 hybridization, geometry is square planar, that is here in the center there will be Pt, platinum central metal atom, and Cn, the ligands will be at the squares, okay, plane of the squares. So there, here is also Cn and here is also Cn. So this is the case of coordination number 4. In our next lecture we will talk about coordination number 6, valence bond theory for coordination number 6. Thank you class.